It's time to do some fall beekeeping inspections. Let's get down to business. Ba-da-da. Okay, folks, that's right. It's fall where I live. Actually, it's the end of August. I'm in the mountains at about 3,000 feet in western North Carolina. And we actually have a pretty good fall nectar flow usually. It hasn't quite started yet. We've had some jewelweed that's still here. And next up, we have goldenrod and aster, and that'll help my bees a lot. In the fall, there's a couple things I'm going to be looking for, and I'm going to share that with you. One is I'm looking at the amount of honey my bees have. They don't necessarily have to have full supers right now, but hopefully they're close to that so they can maintain throughout the fall. Like I said, these other nectar sources are going to help them maintain their honey for the winter, hopefully. I do feed, but I don't start feeding until about September 15th or so. A lot of people in my area do it a little bit sooner, but I actually try to get a little bit of fall honey sometimes, and I'm doing that this year, and I may show that in this video. And I wait until September 15th. If it's not going to happen, then I start feeding some sugar water. So we're going to look at honey stores. We're also going to look for queen evidence, eggs, brood, larvae, and then also the frames of bees. I always make sure I'm counting my frames of bees in the fall, because really from this point on until in my area, late February, early March, for the most part, my hives are going to slowly go down in number. My queen is going to be making some winter bees here in the next month or so, and those will live a lot longer throughout the winter. But in general, your hives are going to start to decline from, early fall into early spring. So I like to have at least 8 frames of bees. 8 to 15 is a good number for me to survive. Sometimes some of my best hives that have 20 plus frames of bees, those are sometimes the hardest to take care of in the winter because they eat all of their honey stores usually. But that's what I'm looking for. So let's open up a few hives and see how they all look. Okay, this hive here, I believe, was a swarm I caught. And I actually did get a harvest from this hive a few weeks ago. So some of my hives, I've gotten a harvest from every single hive this year. Even I started 2 new ones that were packages. And then I've actually harvested 3 times from 2 hives, which is pretty crazy around here. So all of my hives have made honey for me, and hopefully they have honey for themselves, and this is the time that I start to worry about it. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Wow, this is a nice hive, people. So I would call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is close to 10 frames of bees. There's definitely bees over here, but I would probably call that 9 frames of bees there on the top box. So let's open up to the deep and see what that looks like. This hopefully is all filled with honey. Wow, that's a lot of bees, people. For a fall hive, that's pretty good. So there's probably 16, 17 frames of bees, so that's good. That's very good. And there's some honey down here as well. This will probably be, hopefully, a successful hive that overwinters, because it's pretty nice. For this time of year, it's pretty nice. Okay, here's a little bit of brood here in the center, worker brood. That just tells me that my queen's been here in about 21 days. There has to be a queen in here because this is a pretty active hive, pretty productive. But hopefully we'll find some better brood evidence here. Oh yeah. This is a great sign for the end of August because this is a nice frame of brood, both sides here. So there's going to be a lot of bees coming soon, very, very soon. I still don't really see any open brood, maybe a few. So this hive I know has a queen in it, even though I haven't seen her. It would be nice to open it up more, but I got a lot of hives to check. But there's definitely queen evidence. There's 4 or 5 frames of brood in there. 17 frames of bees. That's a pretty good start for me in my area in August. So I'm hoping that this hive makes it. The last thing I do is I treat my bees with Formic Pro. So there's several options you can use to treat bees. I've always just used Formic Pro. I've had decent success. The bees don't like it, but that's okay. They may even come out of the hive in a minute because they're not going to like the Formic Pro. I do the single pad 10-day treatment, then I put the second pad for another 10 days, so they have a whole 20 days here. See how they kind of moved away from it? Hopefully that was on camera. They don't like that, but they're going to be exposed to that Formic Pro. More importantly, the mites are going to be exposed to the Formic Pro, and that's hopefully going to keep my mite levels down. Hive number 1 looks pretty good for a late August hive here. Okay, here's our next hive again. This was a split I did. I got 1 harvest from this hive. I always like it when I open up the hive and I can already see bees coming out. That's always a good sign. These are some good looking hives, I bet. We got some propolis here. Oh wow, baby. Again, another good hive on top here. I can see that they got plenty of honey. Some of it's capped, some of it's uncapped. But again, we got that fall flow coming. Another beautiful hive, people. Look at this. Now that's just pure beauty, people. Pure beauty. Whoop, whoop. Love it. Okay, so I'm pretty confident this hive also has a queen because there's just so many bees right now. But we're gonna open it up. I always like to do a check down, see if I can see any obvious brood, and that may tell me which way to start. And I see, I think, a little bit of drone brood. So let's start with that. Not on this frame, but on the next frame. See some pollen. Okay, here's a nice frame of brood. For August, it's a nice frame, the end of August. And I see open larvae. Right here are some open larvae for you. On the edge of the cap brood there. So that tells me that my queen's been there. With the size of that larva, I see some smaller larvae too, within 4 or 5 days. So again, I'm not necessarily looking for the queen. If I find her, great. But I see queen evidence, and that is good enough for me, people. So we got queen evidence. This is another good hive. I make my fall inspections quick because this is a time of year that they can be a little feisty because they're starting to protect their winter storage, basically, their winter honey. So let's throw some more Formic Pro on here. They don't like it, you can tell. Get us away from that. It's medicine that they need. Always smash a few bees, unfortunately, but okay. If I remember right, this was their weaker hive. I got a little harvest from it, but ooh. Oh, there's a giant praying mantis that just jumped away. It probably eating a few bees. That's okay with me. Eat away, praying mantis. Eat away. Again, this is a smaller hive. Let me show you. So a lot weaker, maybe 6 frames of bees. Hopefully there's some bees on the bottom here. A lot of propolis. Okay, there's quite a few more bees on the bottom, so that's a good thing. And let me show you something, people. Sometimes when you open up a hive, they're making a little bit of larva, and it's in between, and sometimes you lose a little bit of larva. The bees are actually trying to rescue that one, and they may be able to save it, but we'll see. So I know this one has brood, but let's check it out. Another hopefully good sign. Sometimes I may open a hive and there's no activity on the top. That doesn't mean it's a bad hive, but this, with even, you know, there's probably a few hundred bees here. That's usually a good sign that when I pop open this hive, I'm gonna have a decent to good to great hive, but well, maybe not this one, we'll see. I may be taking this box off here. I was maybe too hopeful about this hive making some fall honey. So this isn't really their brood box. This was just maybe a pipe dream I had that they would make some honey. Okay. Better not an okay hive. It's an okay hive. 1, 2, maybe 6, 7 frames of bees there. Okay, that's good. This is excellent. Again, with bees like this, you know that You probably got a queen in there, people. Okay, first frame, I got a little bit of brood. There's actually a practice queen cup there. That's not really concerned. That's just a practice cup. But there's brood. Actually, there's 3 different queen cups. But there's brood here, so that's a good sign. More brood, more brood. They don't like it. Okay, these next 2 hives are the hives that I was most hopeful that I would get some fall honey. Again, these are my stronger hives in general, so I'm probably going to wait until September 15th on these hives here. But let's open them up and check them out, and we'll give them Formic Pro as well. Okay, folks, unfortunately, one of my better hives failed on me here. But I'm opening one more hive that is one of my stronger ones, so hopefully we'll have some good news, I hope. Last hive. It's a pretty productive looking hive right now. This is a box I'm still hoping to get some fall honey. And I'm going to leave one fall honey box on just to see if they can do it. I won't get much, but I do enjoy fall honey, goldenrod. So let's open up this medium super. Probably 8 or 9 solid frames of bees here. And let's see what the bottom box looks like. Okay, this is a good hive, people. This is a good hive. Woo! Got bit through the pants there, stung through the pants. Well, that's another good hive if I got 3 solid boxes of bees here. And hopefully we'll find, well, I can see it right there. I can see some capped brood right there, so let's open that up. Okay, so there's some closed brood, so I see a little bit of open brood, so I know my queen's been here in the last week or 2. There's more open brood, so again, I know my queen is in here. And I see several more frames of brood, so I'm gonna call this another happy hive, people. Okay, folks, that was my quick bee inspections for the fall, and I added my Formic Pro. The good news is, out of my hives here, only one of them has not made it through the summer, and if it didn't make it now, it probably wasn't going to make it in a month or 2. So it is what it is, kind of a bummer. There wasn't a hive anymore, so it's not like I could save that hive. Those were just bees that were robbing it from my other hives. I have another bee yard about an hour away that I'm going to be checking on soon for the fall inspections. But I got plenty of bees, and the ones that are doing great. Most of my hives had 10 to 17 frames of bees easily, so they're in really good shape. One hive, my monster hive, had probably 20 plus frames of bees, and I'm still hoping to get a little fall honey from that hive. So I'm gonna give them another month and see what they do for me, and hopefully the bees can make it through the winter. That's the toughest part of beekeeping, is just having your bees survive the winter. I have some videos about winter beekeeping to check out. I usually have about a 70% survival rate. So even with everything I'm doing, if there was something else I could do and it made sense to me, I would probably do it. I think the worst kind of beekeeper is one that doesn't keep learning. I always say in your first 3 years of beekeeping, you learn about 80% of what you need to know, and you spend the rest of your life figuring out that other 20%. So if you enjoy my bee video, keep watching. Lots of bee videos, lots of other homestead videos, and we'll see you soon.